This one is titled On Another Reunion. It's dated December 23rd, 2019.
I'm ready.
On another reunion. One more night to make memories, one more night to look back at old ones, to tell stories and appreciate shared lives, to shout and laugh at each other as we remember things differently, and to look to the future and plan days to make more stories and more memories. Tears of laughter roll off my cheek. It has been a long, long, long time since that happened. One of my brothers told me he would be proposing to the love of his life. I couldn't find any more colorful words past, I am so, so happy for you, man. I don't think I could have said it better than that. It's been a long, long time since that happened. We then reminisce about the girls from the past with laughter and cringing facial expressions. We remember who we gawked at, laughing at the lengths we went to keep them in our eyeline. We talk about the people in our eyeline now with a different regard. He tells me how much he loves her. He tells me about moving to Colorado with her and spending the rest of their lives together. And another one tells me about the future he might have with someone he tells me he loves. Another one tells me that his future is unknown. He thought he loved someone, and he thought someone loved him, and unfortunately he was wrong. A fresh batch of tacos are decimated. It's getting late. It's 4 a.m. and we're all fading now. And I think of you. I've been thinking of you, how I wish you were here, how I wish I was there, how I wish we were together. I think about you meeting these people in front of me, my family, not of my blood. I think about meeting everyone you love, seeing you smile while you're around them, and I think about the things I'd tell you if I was holding you right now. I think about what I'd tell you if I was in front of you right now. And I think so many things all at once, all the time, and so much to say soon. This night is another reunion, and yet ours will come soon.
I can remember a time before Danny and Charity had met. Danny and I were heading to the beach, and we were talking about life, love, and fate, as we often do. This time was really special though, because I remember on this day that Danny told me that one day, when he did marry someone, that he was going to ask me to be his best man. Danny, I consider you to be one of my greatest friends in this life, and this is one of my greatest honors to stand before you as your best man. I can honestly say that with confidence, you have been a constant light and an encouragement to me and to all the groomsmen here today, not just me. You always find a way to love and encourage us, and you push us to be better men in this world and a light for Christ. I don't know where I would be if I didn't have you in my life as a constant source of encouragement. A verse that I think of when I think of Danny is 1 Samuel 18:3-4. Then Jonathan and David made a covenant because he loved him as his own soul. And Jonathan stripped himself of the robe that was upon him and gave it to David, and his garments, even his sword, and to his bow, and to his girdle. Danny, I want to thank you for speaking truth and value into other people's lives. Charity, I vividly remember the first time that I met you. From the very, very first conversation, I remember that you took a sincere interest in my life. And I want you to know that as Danny started to fall in love with you, I started to look at you as more than a friend, and more you became my family. You became a sister. Charity, when I think about you, I am reminded of the verse, Ruth 1:16. And Ruth said, "Entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee. For whither thou goest, I will go, and where thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God." Thank you, Charity, for showing acceptance and love to all of us, Danny's family. This week has been pretty crazy, with many, many stories of both losses and victories and everything in between. Through it, I watched you both act with grace and patience as you assessed and worked together through each situation. Don't ever forget that first and foremost, you two are a team, and that your goal should be, first and foremost, to glorify God and produce fruit with your marriage. The fruit you produce will take many different shapes and sizes. A friend encouraged, a soul saved, maybe even a little win in the future. Whatever the form the fruit takes, let it always be for the glory and the furtherance of God's kingdom. And never forget that the men and women you called to be your bridesmaids and groomsmen will always try their hardest to stand by your side. There will be tough times, and I think I'd be a bad friend to tell you that everything's going to be smooth sailing from here on out. In those moments that you may want to quit, go back to your covenant with God. Don't ever allow how you feel today to dictate the way you invest into tomorrow. Everything in this life takes work, and there will always be ups and downs. But in those hard moments, God is trying to teach us and mold us to be more like Him. In conclusion, I wanted to read a quote by Pastor Greg Rochelle. He says, "You've probably noticed that there is no area of your life that you can be lazy and see improvement. You won't get in shape if you refuse to exercise and are undisciplined with your diet. You can't expect professional success if you are careless or irresponsible. You won't have a nice yard if you don't fertilize, water, and attend to it. In the same way, we can't expect to have a strong marriage if we don't work for it. That's why I often say, if the grass looks greener on the other side, it's time to water your own yard. If you want what you once had, you'll do what you once did. Always date your spouse. Pursue them, be intentional, get creative. Communicate frequently, work hard to get through conflicts, and when you want to give up, don't. Marriage isn't always easy, but it's always worth it." I love you guys.
Danny and Charity, having witnessed your vows for marriage before God and all who are assembled here, by the authority invested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss your bride.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Right now.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Stay a while, maybe I will find the words to say this time. I'm an honest man, will try and speak my mind. It's hard to find your way without a lie. When we drink wine, you have a way to slow the motion in my mind. All the while can turn me back to you in mid-flight. It's hard to find your way without a light. Ooh, what's the point in living out my days without you? Towards the sky, look to find a sign to tell me where to fly. The birds that soar above don't need a reason why. It's hard to find your way without a light. Ooh, what's the point in living out my days without you? What's the point in living out my days without you?